Exactly that. Here we go, everybody. It's time for a grand final. We have 3 more grand finals this year, including this one. And this one has a special feel about it. The 2 teams coming into this season that everybody was talking about once again grace our main stage trying to become a champion.
And it feels like we're right back to where we started the season off. We've had a few twists and turns in the story so far. DreamHack Dallas, of course, being the most notable of those, but everyone will remember coming into the 2025 season, it was all about 2 teams, Optic Gaming and Shopify Rebellion. They find themselves in very similar form here. Shopify Rebellion coming through the winner's bracket and sending Optic themselves to the elimination bracket, and Optic Gaming having to fight through the elim bracket once again. The question is, can they do it again? Back-to-back series wins.
A 3rd time is what Optic would have to do from the elimination bracket to become champions once again. And for 2 of the players on that team, it would be 6 event wins in a row. Legend and Bound have a chance to make some history here.
They really do, and it's amazing to watch their tournament results just continue to rack up and stack up as the green wall chant starts in the room. But it smiles on the face of LastShot, and as we said, the Shopify Rebellion story, it took a brief pause. Let's not forget this team placed 4th at the last event in DreamHack Dallas while they had to watch Optic Gaming win another event from the elimination bracket. So here, Shopify has had another chance to take a deep breath, get back into this and realize the opportunity that is afforded them. They have the chance to take their first event of the year and change the story completely.
You talk about opportunity, also huge advantage here by going through that winner's bracket, winning the winner's bracket final. A reminder to everyone who might be watching for the first time, Optic will have to beat Shopify Rebellion in 2 series to become a champion here in our grand final. Shopify Rebellion will only have to win 1. That is such a massive thing for them to keep in mind.
And here's your best of 7, and how fitting for Optic fans. If you wanted a long evening, we're starting things off with Oddball on Streets, which, as we just saw, could be maybe a good omen for the green wall. We'll have to see if they could do it here in game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in, because the last time we've seen Optic Gaming in a grand final, and the time before that, they have sent us the distance and made it a long evening of Halo Infinite. That is what they will look to do yet again.
Will this be a long game 1, or will this be one of the games where one team takes over? It's a Sunday night in SLC, everybody. The grand finals is live. It's Optic versus Shopify.
Starting things off with Cykul, a man that's been talked about quite a bit, but as you heard earlier, has a huge opportunity ahead of him, and he wins the first battle against Formal, eventually taken down 2 dead for both sides.
2v2, like you say, on our screens. Frosty last alive momentarily. Renegade looking for the kill. Will get it. That camo is still going to be 4-4 though. You can see Bound is already mid-map. Royal 2 having to hold off the push, and I think he's going to try and just take a little different angle to keep his shields. In the meantime, Bound swoops in, grabs that camo. First power-up belongs to Optic.
As you said, good pressure there from Optic to keep Royal 2 in front a courtyard. Eventually he's taken down as well, but it does also mean that Bound's able to get this camo and make some of the first plays of the game. We'll see if they can get some control here.
Fascinating that almost a minute into this round, nobody has got their hands on that oddball as yet. Both teams recognize numbers is the priority. Do not worry about that objective until we get those kills on the board. Royal 2, though, playing a sneaky little corner. He'll grab one himself, and finally we do see some time as Legend is going to steal that ball away.
Nicely done. However, 2 dead for Optic Gaming, so Royal 2 knows he needs to try to take advantage of this with Legend alive here on benches. Should be a slow 3 dead. Now spawners up on B rails and around music.
Royal 2 grabs that oddball. First player on the team to do so. I'm as surprised as you are, as Bound will pick up a kill. 2 dead here for Optic Gaming. Royal 2 now drops it off, tries to fly in, but Optic do a good job of just holding the line there, making sure they don't go 3-4 dead, get those trades and keep it a little bit dicey.
Yeah, ball starts to be played by Shopify as it was 3 dead for them. However, Formal is right at the bottom as he stares, but Frosty picks up an extra kill, which will now keep things interesting for Shopify. Here comes the driveway push.
And I think if all of the players on this main stage, someone who wants to make a point here is Frosty. Disappointing finals performances from him so far. We know that he is the catalyst for Shopify's success, but Renegade with that stick, getting that double kill, that little bit of luck, has kept this oddball in a neutral position. Couple of kills go the way of Shopify though, and LastShot will grab that ball.
Was 3 dead for Optic, a staggered 4. The only player alive that's really forward here is Legend. He's bottom tram, which means the ball might need to rotate out. 3 dead, LastShot, last player alive.
Legend versus LastShot. Neither of these players are going to miss many of those bullets when it comes to those engagements. Formal comes in to make sure it's not an even fist fight in that circumstance, and the ball is now being rotated back in towards Tram for Optic. There's a semblance of a setup starting to form here for them.
And really what feels like the first setup of the game here for Optic Gaming, the first meaningful setup and the first meaningful hold, which has also led to the first meaningful lead as they now lead by more than 20 points here at 30-7.
LastShot and Cykul combining beautifully to take down Formal in that position. Bound's going to look for a play ball. 3 dead here for Optic. Last player alive is going to be Lqgend. He manages to get out with 1, but Royal 2 immediately cleans up the damage. And having broken the setup that Optic had at Tram, not only does Shopify Rebellion have that setup themselves, but Royal 2 with a beautiful first pick will keep Optic on the back foot.
Really well done there, and just narrowly stays alive on C stairs and going to continue challenging as well, just being really a nuisance and dealing even more damage to allow this hold to continue. And off of that damage, off of this hold, we're essentially at a tie game here.
Lqgend will get the pick though, takes down Royal 2. Frosty's looking for a trade, not going to get it, as Bound somehow miraculously having stayed alive a few moments ago, comes back to influence that team fight, and the break will now come in for Optic. They have that ball back in their hands, and the score will start to head skywards for them. 44 points already on the board here.
This is a dangerous spot for Lqgend as well. He loves being here, just keeping players back at B pillars, angling himself away from the tire shots as well. He's doing a lot of damage and doing very well to stay alive while they continue scoring.
Excellent support as well from Renegade. You saw he had the Stalker rifle, which is going to be able to put that extra little bit of damage out. Lqgend looking for the repulse. Sticky doesn't get it this time around, and Cykul's actually going to bonk him on the head and take him down. 3 dead for Optic. Shopify with a chance here with the camo cone up as well to get ball time as well as the power up.
So Royal 2 thought about going there. He's not able to get the angle just yet, so Frosty has to go across Laundry. Camo's still up bottom middle. Minor man advantage, and that will lead to the Shopify Rebellion grab, even though they had 1 dead.
Kill comes in. Can Royal 2 get away, though? That's the question. There was a player on the B rails, and he knows it. He's trying to just play his life for as long as possible. Optic will hunt him down, though. Cykul combining with Frosty in the back of Tram to get some kills, but Cykul now will be last alive. Optic Gaming, fresh 4 dead from Shopify. And that will be an opportunity to grab this ball as Lqgend kills a spawner as well.
Big kill there. You can tell just how much extra advantage that's going to give them timing-wise. And look, he shots as well. He's got help. And he is just absolutely patrolling the driveway. That was a you shall not pass moment here from Lqgend as he continues to lock down that area. And why not? He'll grab the ball as well. LastShot was the last player alive for Shopify.
11 and 5 for Lqgend in this game. Double positive objective in his hands as well. 3v3 on the map right now, although Bound will fall, which gives the numbers advantage here to Shopify Rebellion. Trying to formulate a push here. Renegade's trying to find an angle and find a route to catch Royal 2 off guard, and he might just do so! Royal 2 turns around at just the last second, and somehow gets out of that situation with a trade.
Don't know how he avoided the back whack, but he did now as the ball starts to rotate. 2v2 on the map. Bound is going to be your last player alive, and he's the one on your screen.
2v2, ball is being rotated. Bound might be able to cut this off, but there's a great little angle being picked up here by Cykul to make sure that he didn't get away. Even though Lqgend is going to trade that one out, now 2 players from Optic, the last alive on the pink street, and Frosty is just going to run that ball away from them.
Absolutely back and forth between these two. Look at the corner here. They're going to have to check this together. Formal checks it, but he actually does it on his own. Very nicely done. He could have had a 2v1 there, but instead Formal wins that 1v1. Still 2 dead for Shopify.
Lqgend might be able to grab this ball, actually, because Renegade was playing off of some damage. Royal 2 will get the trade kill for kill in that position, but with Royal 2 now being taken down, Optic Gaming and Lqgend could move this ball in towards Tram. Camo coming up as well, and as we close in on the end of round number 1, no one looks like they're close enough outside of Frosty. 2 seconds to go here, 2 points needed. They all fall, and Optic will strike first.
They make it look too easy with that final rotate as well. Lqgend knew exactly where he needed to get with that ball, and as you said, he knew immediately he could grab the ball on B stairs, begin the back Tram rotate while the team continues to slay around him, and that's exactly what they do. Optic Gaming takes the first round of ball.
Lots to talk about there with the decision-making of Lqgend, right? He sees what Renegade's doing. He knows there's damage. A lot of players might think, hey, I'm going to make sure we get these kills first. I'm going to make sure we secure the back of Tram, make sure that some weird play doesn't happen where all of a sudden the 2 players stay alive. He grabs the odd ball, trusts Renegade to get those kills, and by doing so, just makes a little bit of a more difficult decision-making process happen for Shopify Rebellion. Just great awareness once again from Lqgend, using that objective so effectively.
And how about here, even though they're 2 dead, right? Still holding, still scoring. 25-0 off the opening, and like we said, the slaying and the map, both awareness and composition of the players as 3 will fall in the end. give them such good opportunities for those early holds. However, now it's LastShot with a camo and still 3 dead for Optic, and an opportunity to get right back in this round.
LastShot with camo. Frosty has Stalker. But Optic, they're showing aggression here. They're trying to burst out of PD where they did squad spawn together. LastShot will get the beat down, and almost as importantly, take no damage. Cykul probably going to look to rotate this one back down the pink street, but look at this damage coming in from LastShot. This is the POV you want to see from this man.
Absolutely, and they're right back in it here, just about shy of the 20-point mark, and now they will cross it off of this hold. They do lose 1, but here comes the push from Optic.
Gonna be a mid-map push. Great timing on the push as well. You saw Renegade flying out alongside Lqgend to make sure that scenario was a 2v1. 3 dead, staggered 4 dead here for Shopify Rebellion. Optic will break, and Optic will grab that ball at back tower.
What a clean break, as you said, from Optic. The timing on both the tires as well as bottom mid push, it looked so in sync, and my goodness, did it ever pay off. They're right back in the lead, and firmly doing so past the 40-point mark now.
Formal gets the first pick on the Frosty as well. It's interesting to see how Optic actually set up, having grabbed that off ball. They gave Shopify quite a lot of room to move on the map. All kind of turtled at the back of the tower. But by getting that first pick, now they can just hold that odd ball in PD. Formal's going to get his shields back pretty comfortably here. Royal 2 is going to be furthest up that could cause some problems. Well, he's taking damage as well, so it's a really good hold from Optic.
Really good, and where's the pressure going to come? Finally, Frosty gets 1 pick, but look at all the time on the board. Frosty, however, with the camo, and he can turn this round around, but they need to make it happen soon. 3 dead for Optic.
I think Frosty knows where last player alive is. He's just waiting for those shields to come back. He doesn't want to trade with this camo. That's exactly what he manages to do. Shopify break, Shopify get the ball in their hands over at PD, and Frosty has a chance to make a big, big play.
Really nicely done. Gonna play the slow and pick up another one as well. Essentially the 5th kill on the rotation, if you will.
It's gonna be a fresh 4 dead. Renegade last alive, he's dead as well. They are cycling the spawns, and the Stalker Rifle doing damage here for LastShot as well. Ball still in their hands, as they now close into around 15 points away from the score that Optic have put on the board.
It's a really good point you make about Frosty making sure he doesn't come anywhere near trading with that camo, right? They knew exactly where Formal was, and they have continued to rack up the kills since 2v2 on the map on this push.
2v2, Royal 2 is going to challenge. Lqgend gets the finish, Cykul last alive. 3 dead on the side of Shopify Rebellion. Lqgend knows that. Make sure that he takes a route to get those shields back before he engages with Cykul, who is being somewhat of a nuisance. But in the end, it's going to be Optic with almost a tie game here who get that odd ball back in their hands.
They really take their time once again with Cykul, and kind of a flip of the stage there, as we saw Frosty just do that, but they take their time now, and this will get them back in the lead. They were only up by 5, however, they are scoring yet again.
Really good shots there initially from Royal 2. I think a teammate from a teammate may have taken Royal 2 out in that situation. Lqgend now on the flank. He's found the Stalker Rifle. He's going to try and move in on that op, or G slides it back towards Tram. He knows where the remaining Shopify members are, and they're nowhere near where he is with this op ball.
Another great rotate from Lqgend, and it looks like a little bit of deja vu from round number 1 as he gets all the way into Tram right away. Knows some pressure might be coming here, but going to get a little bit of information at the top of driveway. Grenades will do, and he'll go ahead and challenge once again.
Camo just got picked up, I believe, by a member of Shopify Rebellion. LastShot was last alive, but he gets taken down.
Wow.
4 dead here for Shopify Rebellion. Optic grabbed that ball, and a moment's away from being 1 up in the series.
And once again, what a rotate. Like we said, they knew exactly where they needed to be, and it was Lqgend who did it again as Optic ticks down the 2nd round.
Formal will hold the ball. He will watch his teammates do the heavy lifting, and Optic Gaming will take game number 1 here at our grand finals.
And the statistics card was certainly the indicator for Optic Gaming. They knew exactly what they were doing in oddball, and my goodness, did it ever translate. And I think we got the perfect view there from our observers of late game rotates from who? Lqgend. Lqgend flies, and like you said, hits the G-slide all the way across bottom middle from Laundry into C-stairs as the opponents responding around plants, caution, and PD. That bought them not only all the time in the world, but all the sight lines to bait all the pressure in. And when Lqgend has to, for example, it's not just the rotate, it's Lqgend then going up driveway with the Stalker to then 2-shot trade. It's the extra bit that secures that area of the map, so Formal simply just has to hold for the last 10 seconds. And for the green wall, they have started to lay the first brick of what could be a very long evening. They take game number 1, 200 to 123 in a total elapsed score.
And you look at the stats as well, 20 and 10 for Lqgend. Incredible performance, double positive for him, and like we saw, a lot of oddball time, a lot of great moves with that oddball as well to keep it away from the Shopify Rebellion players. On the other side of things, Cykul with a decent first game, but the only player to go positive, quite simply, Optic out-slaying and outplaying in that first map.
Take a look at some of the highlights here from that game, and Tell you what, early on it was quite back and forth. Let's not forget, this was only a 20-point game in this first round, and even the second round, you could say the same thing. It was quite close, but all it took was this final hold that came in from Optic Gaming in the end. This was the rotate, like you had said. Lqgend knew he could grab that ball and get things into Tram, and by the time we get here in the second round, even though we saw Shopify with some opportunities, with some holds, in the end, it felt like they let the game get a little bit too far away.
There's going to be some interesting mental gymnastics done by both of these teams during this game and during this series and during this final. I think Shopify coming into this game, number one, would have known Opball's been pretty good for Optic. If we can keep it close, if we can really push them, we're not going to be too disheartened should this one slip away. It's the rest of the series, I think, that they're going to start to look at. Shopify Rebellion been very good in their Slayers, for example. King of the Hill, Livefire, CTF Forbidden, all look a little bit more juicy for Shopify Rebellion players and fans alike. Optic, they've just been too good at Opball. No team's really been able to touch them.
Exactly, and as we look set our eyes on Slayer Origin, that's where things start to get interesting, because we've seen Shopify how dominant they can be when Frosty goes full Frosty mode on this map. Also, you might have heard in the Optic podcast, Formal saying last event at DreamHack Dallas that he did not have the Slayers that he wanted to. This is his chance now to turn that around. Can they make sure their Slayer game stays as good as it has looked overall?
A lot of focus, understandably, will be on sniper rifle and power weapons in this game. Number two, you have the rockets, you have the thrust bottom middle as well as that S7 sniper rifle on the snipe side of the map. And we've seen every single player on this stage put on montage, highlight-worthy clips. And I think everybody on the stage knows that if it's in the hands of the opposition, then they might be on the receiving end of it. Controlling that is going to be the secret to success for both these teams.
It really will be. Packed house in Salt Lake City has been packed all weekend long, and of course Championship Sunday is no exception. I want to thank you everyone also tuning in from around the world at home. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Grand Finals. It's the teams that you expected to be here at the beginning of the season. And maybe if you were placing your bets, you might have expected them to be right back where we left them in Arlington. That's exactly what has happened here. Shopify has changed the story of the season. They're right back in the Grand Finals. And on the winner's side, however, they trail now 1-0 in what could be your first best of 7. They're going to look to tie things up here 1-1 after this game. 2 Slayer.
So Optic strike first in our Grand Finals, but as we head into game number 2, a chance here for Shopify Rebellion to strike back. Origin is going to be our battleground. Question is, Andy, who do you want to watch first?
It's a great, honestly, when you think of all 8 POVs on a map like this.
That's why I asked it.
It's hard to say, but it's going to be Bound that we kick things off with, and immediately in a grass battle here with Frosty, but runs into 3 players of Shopify, and the early kills going slightly the way of Shopify Rebellion.
Looking to move in on that sniper rifle as well. Lqgend finds one onto Frosty, and somehow or other, Renegade was doing damage across map. Lqgend now, after commanding the snipe side and picking up that double kill, finds himself that sniper rifle.
He says, I dare you to move here, and luckily for Royal 2, a little bit of extra spawner pressure comes in, as Lqgend had his crosshairs firmly fixed on the front of the base. That paves the way for Bound to grab rockets at 5-5, and now the lead as well.
Yeah, 5-5, Bound! Bouncing around in the trenches, manages to turn a single kill into an unlikely double. And having rockets and that sniper rifle in their possession means Optic are up by just 1, but Lqgend still has a huge advantage, having the only power weapon left.
How about that for Nightmare Fuel? Bound and Lqgend are going to grab the power weapons off the rip, and how do you respond? That's the question, and to be honest, Shopify has done well to keep the game within 2. However, Optic Gaming now up 8-6.
Lqgend hitting bodies. LastShot decides not to show, doesn't want to give that easy kill, but now he does donate one. Lqgend not going to miss those.
Talk about the patience from Lqgend to leave the kill, ping it, and then just check again to see if he might have poked out, and he did. 3 dead for Shopify. Optic Gaming heating up here. Now they're up by 5.
Their teamwork is incredible. It's almost exemplary. The baiting and switching, the Lqgend hitting the big shots as well. Everybody working around the reticle of this man. He's holding down an LOS so that everybody else can just play around it.
So well controlled here so far from Optic Gaming, really just showing no signs of any gaps, locking down each sight line, and of course power weapons as well. However, what was just a 5-kill lead has now been trimmed to 3 at 12-9.
So sniper rifle ammo has been used up here. Lqgend does manage to jump back in and keeps it old school with a beatdown to add another to his collection. And you have to give credit to Shopify here, considering they didn't get the rockets, they didn't have that first sniper rifle. It's only a 2-kill game here.
I gotta say, I agree. The entire way through so far, Shopify is going to be very happy with how they have kept this game manageable. They've kept this one close and respectable. And now with this angle, a tie game at 13.
2 dead as well. Bound no shields, he's dead as well. Lqgend last alive at Shopify, showing that if they don't have the weapons, Optic, They can swing with the best of them. Legend's still alive somehow, as last player finally does go down. Off the respawn, you can see Frosty taking a little bit of damage from the elbow spawners. As the Rockets will reintroduce themselves to the map. Around 15 seconds till that snipe comes up as well. Renegade does well to stay alive, Bound helping him out.
Dangerous territory here, as you said. Power weapons popping right now, and it was 3 dead for the side of Shopify, so we'll see if Optic can pull away once again based off the power weapon holds.
Forward's gonna grab him. Legend's gonna beat down Cykul as well, not using those rockets, trusting the teammate to get the kill to allow him now to move forward with this rocket launcher.
Gonna pre-fire the right side. That is not gonna connect on the rocket street. He gets punished as he doesn't wrap his body around the silver fast enough, and it was 3 dead for Optic Gaming.
Frosty's gonna collect a rocket, I believe, as well. He knew where that had fallen. Question is, do Optic know where Frosty is with this rocket? They're a little bit trapped in the back of the base here, Optic. Formal. He's going to find out where that rocket went. Another trade goes down, and Frosty also has the sniper rifle. So Optic up by 1 at the moment, as we now have the game tied up at 21-21, and it's a full sniper rifle here for Shopify.
Wow, Legend gets taken down as well, so now the lead is all of Optic Gaming is spawning in the back of the base, and they're going to have to try to fly at the silver. And now with this, as Frosty gets pulled back.
Legend spawns out, though. Everyone from Shopify focusing on the spawners, but Frosty just felt there was something up.
25-22 off of this sniper hold individually, and you know that best man in the back of Shopify Rebellion was saying when they had that 3-kill lead, they knew what happened when they let control of the power weapons, but as soon as Frosty's able to grab it, he turns the game around now with a 2-kill lead.
Down on top of the pyramid, Cykul should deal with him. Frosty's still alive with his sniper rifle. Legend will find one elsewhere, as this game is only 2 kills between the 2 teams. Renegade's gonna be spotted out here. Frosty gives him a little haircut, but it's just a tickle, it's not a death blow.
Kind of lucky there. Renegade catches a little bit of extra geometry that just kind of put him out of the way of the expected pathing there, and that shot misses, so it'll still be just a 2-kill game at 28-26.
Bound challenging. Frosty looking for the flick. Not gonna connect this time around. 2 bullets left in this snipe here. As Shopify continue to elongate this lead. 31-27 now, the final bullet has gone. Cykul picks up a double.
And how much has this game turned around since this sniper grab? We talked about Frosty, he is him on this map, and somehow he pulls out a way, whether it's Halo 5 or Infinite, regardless of the iteration. If this is the map, this man's gonna put on a show, and they have completely turned this game around. Rockets are up. We'll see if they can grab these as well and extend their lead even further. Now up by 7.
10-5 here for Frosty, double positive in a Slayer. Most of the time, that is going to get the job done, but Legend can say the same on the Optic side, and he's proving that maybe that's not going to be the case.
Ooh, Prenade almost connects there, and the crowd lets out a little bit of an ooh and an ah. And most importantly for Shopify, they maintain map control for now.
I love this from Frosty, by the way. Having this battle rifle allows you to put so much damage down from range. He's kind of accepted, I don't have a sniper rifle, using the battle rifle to do almost exactly the same thing, though. And Shopify are going to grab some rockets. Optic were 3 dead there.
Yep, very good comms there, very good awareness. Royal 2, even with no shields, goes for these rocks, has 1. We'll see if he can put the second to use as well.
Optic trying to flood here. Legend flies in to get a beatdown to get the kill, but can't be trading out in this situation. 43-31. Optic need to put runs together now. Trading will only mean Shopify closing this game out quicker.
Ooh, Cykul wants to just walk in on the front base. Renegade, unfortunately, on the too close to the flag stand there. Here comes the push. They're up by 14.
Frosty has the sniper rifle again, so power weapons have clearly swapped hands since the start of this game. And it's actually going to be LastShot, who has 5 bullets to work with here. Switches to the Bandit, should be able to clean that up. This kill onto Bound, it's a killing spree for him. All the Shopify members at the moment taking turns to go on sprees. It's 2 to go here for Shopify.
And what a second half of this game from Shopify Rebellion. After trailing, they're now 2 kills away from closing out the game. Here comes the push.
Formal might be the 49th. 50th belongs to LastShot. The exclamation point with the no-scope. Shopify tie things up. It's 1-1.
Absolutely breaks the door down. Some people like to go elbow side. Some people like to go fountain side. He says, actually, I'm going to get a battering ram in the form of the S7 sniper. And you see a smile on his face as well. He's going to break the door down, hit the first no-scope, and why not end it on the second for the double kill and a commanding lead. Amazing work from Shopify. I think the entire squad realized, okay, let's not give up snipe and rocks to players like Bound and Legend off the opening.
Usually 0.1 on the coach.
Yeah. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again. And you had the feeling with Shopify, as they close it out, by the way, 50-34. When we're talking about a Halo Grand Final, this is not a close game. That is an absolute blowout due to the late game performance and composure from the side of Shopify. They turned that game around, and I think the power weapon focus was all the difference.
Well, Form was saying he wasn't happy with his Slayer performances before the tournament and on the podcast. Well, he's not going to be too happy with that one. 4-13 for Formal in that game, but honestly, no one really outside of Lqgend having a great game for Optic Gaming. One thing that really stood out to me on the Shopify Rebellion side, how many killing sprees did we see from numerous players? So that was players going on little runs, playing their lives extremely well. And it's a great indication when one player goes on a killing spree, usually teamwork's pretty good. When multiple are going on killing sprees, it shows that everything is clicking.
No, I couldn't agree more. And right here, you start to see Optic at 11-7, for example, starting to pull away a bit. Shopify, though, how about, we talked about it in the early game, they kept this game so close, and then things like this started happening. Look at this angle. I don't even know how that geometry works. Killing spree for Frosty there. And before you knew it, it was 36-28. Plays like this. Royal 2 grabbing the rockets with no shields, and even though he trades out here, that second rocket will be used, and Cykul just brings it in the base. And like we said, the map, look at the map positioning that you have to be able to walk in the front of the base back-to-back in each base to close out the game. Here it was, to close out. Boom. I mean, coast to coast, both sides of the map. They're just walking in the front of the flag and picking up the kills, like you said, off of so much damage.
Yeah, I just want to talk about that Frosty kill onto Lqgend as well. It's so interesting to kind of highlight. I'm sure that when Shopify got initial damage, remember Frosty was the first one to see 2 or 3 players off the Optic respawn at the other side of the map in the back of the flag. Probably sees that and he's like, they're all spawning here, they're squad spawning. But then I think Shopify would have pushed in and got this 3, and Frosty would have thought, there's 3.
Wait a second.
Where's the other one? If they, surely we have, information on where the 4th player is if they're all spawning together. And you just saw him just take a second, he was like, just gonna check. Just gonna check as Lqgend slides out. Could have gone very differently. If Lqgend picks that kill up, he gets the sniper rifle, and all of Shopify trapped to the back of that base. Frosty just showing, again, why we call him the Oracle of Origin, right? That little moment of brilliance in between the ears is what turns that game on its head.
Exactly. It's amazing that you can even see it from the POV and the player cam, right? There's something that ticks, and you realize, he's aware that someone could have spawned out.
Someone's missing here.
Exactly. And also, I mean, we didn't have it in the listen in there, but you know that B-Man would have been saying the same thing. Even if Lqgend hadn't spawned out, B-Man would have been saying, watch for a split. And undoubtedly watching that screen, and you've heard it from coaches like Best Man, like Lunchbox on the other side of the stage, we're missing one. Gives me chills thinking about it, because the amount of time that a player has to play on these maps to understand exactly when a player can and can't split, that's what they were able to do here. As we take a look at the Kings of Koth here in Optic Gaming.
Yeah, interesting now for Optic Gaming. We thought the Rob Ball was good, but the King of the Hill isn't that far behind. That is, again, a ridiculous record so far in 2025 this season. 14-2 on King of the Hill. Average margin of 1.8, almost 2 hills better than their opponents. I mean, you can't ask for much more. And Livefire as well. I mean, look at the record of theirs, 4-0.
Only thing I want to point out in the graphic is that they're 4th in KD, and it's only a 1.1, which tells you a few things about how Optic plays King of the Hill. They're obviously not outslaying. They're only outslaying by 10%, but most importantly, they're playing the position game, because the only way you go 14-2 when you're barely outslaying is because you are out-positioning, you are out-rotating your opponents. So, if Shopify wants to make sure they take this game and the series lead, they need to be thinking about, let's not just slay, but let's be slaying out in the parts of that we need to be. They need to be open to playing a slower game, playing a little bit more slay heavy, and getting the rotation that they need, not letting Optic out-rotate and out-position them in these games.
I think it's a really, really interesting point, and a great point that you raised there. I think Shopify have got to be okay if they get a 3 or 4 dead on Optic. I'm not doing too much. Don't try and force it. Don't try and look for something too quickly and give Optic the first kill, because then all of a sudden, we've seen what they can do when they get control. I think it's going to be kind of an exercise in slowing things down and showing a little bit of patience and resilience in those moments, to not think, oh, I might be able to get an extra kill here, and really put them on a back foot. You just got to play that positioning. King of the Hill is about defending a space on the map. That's all you got to think about.
And let this be low scoring if they need, because keep in mind, with Optic with a 1.8 margin, that tells you that not only are they out rotating and out positioning while they're not outslaying, but they're also just heavily outscoring despite not having huge slays on the board. So I think Shopify needs to also be comfortable not only in the patience, but also in the idea that these games could end 2-1, 3-2, right? We may not see this one go the distance, and Optic Gaming so far has, right? When they're winning games by nearly 2 hills, that indicates that they're likely hitting 4 hills quite often. Shopify needs to be ready to play a slower game where they're controlling the map, outslaying their opponent, and getting the hills when the opportunity presents itself.
That man on your screen seems in great spirits, I will say, LastShot. You know what's very interesting? It reminds me of the K-San Invitational that we had before the official HCS season got underway. When Shopify were playing great, they were all smiles. Everyone's having a joke. Everyone seems to be on the same page. Everyone's enjoying each other's company and looking forward to playing some Halo. Now, it's looked a little bit different when they've gone down to the elimination bracket in some previous tournaments or come up short in a grand final. I've given that, understandable. You're going to be upset in that situation. But now, it looks like the chemistry is there. It looks like the game plan is there. The question is, can they reverse the incredible record of Optic Gaming in this game number 3 as we head over to Livefire for some King of the Hill?
Not going to be easy. Game type records indicated that Optic had the oddball, and they took the oddball. We'll have to see if Shopify can turn that around. You have to think, hopefully they're not putting too much thought into what the stats might have said, instead playing the exact game that they need to. They desperately want to take a 2-1 series lead here instead of looking down the barrel of a 1-2 deficit in this first best of 7. We're underway in game number 3.
Here we go then, the go-ahead game for either of these teams as we're tied up at 1-1. Optic taking that first Streets oddball. Response immediately from Shopify Rebellion with a dominant Game 2 victory on Origin Slayer. But Renegade gonna grab this snipe off the rip here. Bad news for Shopify Rebellion.
2v2 here on the map. As we said, it's going to be a little bit of slaying control as the camo's popping. And Shopify is there. We'll see if Renegade can shut it down from the angle, but very good sight lines there coming in to force him back to mud.
I love how difficult they made that for him. That shot is so difficult. Reason being, 2 players challenging at exactly the same time. So difficult to place that S7 reticle where you need it. And Frosty comes out of it with a camo.
Frosty, look at this, an amazing chess match happening here between these two teams as they just try to spot out this camo. Frosty now engaging.
Frosty doing damage to multiple Optic members, but where's the rest of Shopify? They're taking their time to get close here. Frosty says, I'll do it myself, gets that first kill, and Optic will fall 2 dead.
Nicely done. Now going to rotate out, and they start scoring as well. Optic, though, able to grab quite a lot of time. Legend's the last player alive, and dangerous to engage there. He's going to be forced back, so this will mean more time for Shopify. They'll start to watch the sandbags choke as well.
I love the responsibility taken by Frosty there. He kills Renegade, who had that sniper rifle. Doesn't go for it. Does the damage onto Lqgend, and now pushes forward to find himself a double kill. Lqgend will fall. Renegade last alive at the back of green.
Renegade surprisingly gets 1 kill that he shouldn't have gotten. In the end, that's traded out, but that will buy Optic a little bit of time off the respawn. However, Shopify will get a little bit more points on the board here.
Shopify all stuck around the back of green at the moment, just grouping up. Look at the progress on this first hill. Shopify have to hold off maybe 1 more push here from Optic Gaming, and they will get that first point on the board.
I think they
2 are going to fall, though. And I don't think Optic are close enough to really cause them any problems here. It looks like Shopify will take this first hill unless something magical happens.
Let's see, it's 2v1 here.
Spawn on the big door.
Big spawn, 2 players coming in here. Oh, it's a big win for LastShot if he can stay alive here. 2v2 on the map.
Optic get a god spawn on the big door. They have access to this hill. Is it a misplay coming in from Shopify? Not blocking that spawn, or are Optic just going to get a little bit fortunate here? Frosty finds 1, as Optic will be 2 dead. Lqgend using the QT to survive far longer than he really has a right to. He hops through again. Frosty gets the beatdown, gets the kill, but Shopify are 2 dead.
Not done just yet. Where are World 2 and LastShot? LastShot, where is he on the map?
That's 3 dead. Optic are going to break. Optic are going to stop Shopify Rebellion from scoring. And the big door spawn they will remember for quite some time.
That is a heartbreaker there. They only had presence on pillars, and you might have seen off screen that there was a 1v1 or a 1v2 lost in the back of green for Shopify. It felt like they had the hill. Instead, it gets stolen out from under them. And you have to think that that hill is actually worth much more than the sum of a single hill when we talk about momentum.
Yeah, mental gymnastics again. That's going to hurt Shopify, that one. Have to shake it off. Ooh, that's Royal 2. Absolutely bops bound there, stops him getting that kill, and more importantly, gets the sniper rifle into his hands. 2 dead for Optic and a shield broken alongside it.
Ooh, barely stays alive. Pressure comes in though, and Renegade is now going to have the sniper in his own hand, but traded out back and forth between these 2 teams, and no real meaningful points on the board. Optic finally will start to score.
LastShot getting a little bit stuck between using the green gun and that bandit. Instead, it's going to be Cykul. Says, don't worry, buddy, I got your back. Optic trying to scarper away here. Shields are broken. Lqgend cannot get away. 2 dead here for Optic. Formal with that sniper rifle, throws it off. It's a double kill here for LastShot. And it's a 1v1 momentarily on the map.
Yeah, bound last player alive. Let's see where he goes. Probably just retreats with the team around key door. Maybe have to put together a sandbags push. That's exactly where they go. They're going to have to formulate now. It looks like pillars. We'll see if Shopify can hold here.
Cykul got some responsibility at the back of green here. You can see that Optic are trying to zone him out, but Royal 2 comes through the pillar. Cykul gets his kill as well. And this is going to be a failed push for Optic Gaming. There's going to be much more time on the board. Renegade last alive, no shields. LastShot says, I'm going to chase him down, but Cykul says, I'm going to beat you to the race.
Very important that Cykul gets there so LastShot does not have to rotate all the way to mud. That would have been pretty problematic for their setup. So instead, they're going to hold here. As you said, it's a failed push from Optic. They only have 2 alive. This will be a Shopify hill.
Love this from LastShot as well. You saw Lqgend back towards his teammate. And seeing that LastShot was there, the point is registered as Shopify will get that tower hill on the scoreboard. We're tied up at 1-1 here.
Impressive, not just the amount of time they got initially, but also the hold. Really, really strong, really showing no gaps there, and a convincing hold to get right back in this game after, like we said, a heartbreaking first hill.
Optic are in a great position to hold down this garage hill. You see they rotated early. I think they gave up and recognized that was always going to be a Shopify hill at the end. Now with the camo in their hands, look how much progress, 2/3 of it, almost done. And Shopify having worked so hard to get that tower hill in their control, well, they might find themselves 2-1 down in just a second here. LastShot down, bound with the double. Might even be a triple. Frosty down to no shields. He'll finish. It's a triple for Bound. It's another hill for Optic. The answer's straight back. They're up 2-1.
Answer straight back indeed. That's a clean hill responded to by a clean hill as Optic will take that one convincingly and off the back of this camo hold from Bound. What a convincing piece of play from Optic.
2 dead for Shopify again, and now the hill moves to mud. Controlling that tower side can be so important for both these teams for any opportunity at elongated control of this hill. Lqgend in a position to potentially grab this sniper rifle that's coming up. And with 1 dead on the side of Shopify, he's going to get it uncontested.
See what he's able to do. Cykul runs into him, almost connects, and the body shot is all they really needed here. And a little bit of progress early on, but of course we're going to wait to see the slays come out. Let's get on board with Shopify Rebellion. We'll get into a listen-in here with the side of Shopify.
One shot hill. Behind the box. One guy dies.
Right, we have plenty of time here. We have plenty of time.
One guy pillars, one guy hill. I'm wrapping big door. One guy nest now. Still top tower stepping.
Okay, I'm going big door, guys.
One guy elbow on top tower.
Behind it back. Yo, nest.
Trinity, kill shot. Trinity's gaming.
I'm nading him.
Cuts now on top tower. Mud
in top tower.
One guy debitor now.
Top tower weak.
Stay down.
Still top tower sniping, going in hill sniping.
I'm giving there. I'm breaking person.
That's sniping by himself.
And hill.
Still that sniping.
2-0. Get hill weak. One shot hill.
Nest dropping. One shot.
We go.
No, debitor. Yes, 2. Blood, guys. In Plitter, guys.
One shot. Two weak.
One shot.
Nice.
Mud.
Slow.
Nice. Nice. And all pillars.
Spawn obvious.
Pillars now.
I got a melee. Red pillars.
Swampy.
One pillar's hiding.
Rain us.
Yo, camo and 10.
One guy top green, one guy hill, one guy nest.
Going bottom mid, guys. Going bottom mid. Yo.
Optic Gaming now almost in a position to close out this 3rd hill. It's almost been perfect for them again. The garage hill was perfect. The mud hill was looking pretty similar.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're once again showing no signs of slowing. It's hard to listen to from the Shopify side because it was just 3 dead the entire time.
3-1. They get that hill. And Optic Gaming showing why the record books show the records that they currently do when it comes to King of the Hill. LastShot gets a cheeky little back smack though, as he has that camo. Should be able to finish off Lqgend here as well, but it's much easier said than done.
How about the team shot coming in, the cavalry? As soon as you start shooting Lqgend top tower, you're going to run into some extra resistance as well, but it is 3 dead for Optic Gaming, and with 1:20 left on the game clock, this is still possible, but Shopify would need to figure it out soon, and really right now.
Optic spawning at the back of green. They're trying to push Nest to flush out Royal 2. Former gets the pick, and that now gives at least an area of access towards LastShot's position. Tower's so important to control for this top middle hill, the biggest vantage point that you can have to look over it. And LastShot recognizes the most important thing for him to do right now is just stay alive.
See what he can do. Able to pick up 1 angle. QT's coming into play, though. 2 still dead, so this might be 3 dead. An opportunity for more points on the board. It's all 4 dead for Optic Gaming. This game is not over yet.
Beautifully played by LastShot. You're probably wondering, why is he not doing more damage? Well, he recognized his teammates were there to do the damage. Him surviving was more important than anything to control these spawns, to control this tower, and Shopify, one more push they can hold off, and they will be 1 hill away from tying this game up.
Let's see if Optic even makes a meaningful press here, because it's a high-risk move with the amount of progress we have on the board. This should be the point. Yes, indeed. And with over 60 seconds still left on the game clock, Shopify will come within 1.
Lqgend gets the next sniper, though. And with just 60 seconds left on the game clock, a couple of headshots here, and Shopify Rebellion will be buried in this game number 3. No chance to contest that hill if, and it's a big if, the Frenchman can do what he does best. There's one. Cykul's got to think about going! And he is continuing to do what he does best.
That was 4 dead. LastShot's your first spawner. He's already trying to get to Rat, but it's going to be tricky. They need to make sure, with World 2 spawning all the way in dummies, they're a bit split. Game time being played by Optic. They will not step in this hill. They will play the time.
Couple more kills and Optic will be up in the series 2-1, but LastShot and Royal 2, they get a couple of kills. And now the pressure is going to come very, very quickly onto Lqgend in this position. Nades flying his way, bullets flying his way, shields still not quite coming back. But now that they do, he still finds a kill at the back of green.
Finds a kill and plays the sniper rifle. Those were his 2 priorities. He gets away with both somehow. 17 seconds left.
Shopify are inside of this hill though. And Frosty is buying time, gets the trade in that position somehow or other.
Uh-oh.
But Renegade has got the camo. 2 players are in and around the back of green, but the damage is done. And now Renegade
Gets spotted.
Gets spotted out by Cykul. LastShot's still alive, but Lqgend takes him down. All of the players are falling. Frosty last alive. I don't think he's going to be able to get near that hill. He's cut down, and it looks like Optic might have done enough.
That will be it. Renegade also has camo QT, just in case you thought you were going to get across the map. It's not going to happen here as the time ticks down.
The Optic fans will count us down as Optic Gaming will continue their incredible King of the Hill record. It's another win for them. And they will go ahead in the series. They're up 2-1.
So convincing there, and just when you thought Shopify was finding some footing, finding momentum after that second hill, Optic Gaming answers back with not just one convincing hill, but essentially a second unanswered hill as well. And they take the lead once again here with a score of 2-1. Now only 2 games away from winning the first best of 7.
Take a look at the statistics.
It's the same story, right? I mean, outslaying by only a bit.
Yeah, outslaying by only a bit. The assists, though, I think are the difference here when you're looking at Optic Gaming in comparison to what we're seeing on the Shopify Rebellion side. And I think there's a big turning point in that game, and I hope that we get to see it in the replay package, where that spawn on the first hill comes in for Optic. Lqgend takes so much damage on that big door as last alive. I was very surprised to see the spawns come in right next to him on the big door to support him. I think Shopify were a little bit caught off by that, knowing they'd done so much damage. However, the spawns do come in, Optic get a chance to flood, and they steal that first hill away.
Yeah, the only way that spawn opens up is because that, I think it was either a 1v1 or a 1v2. It was tough to see from our POV, but back green, Shopify loses the player almost just 1 second or less before that player spawns, which opens up that big door spawn. And as we said, look at Optic, essentially uncontested early on, but then this was what paved the way. We thought Shopify was going to steal this one out. Wait till you see how close this one got progress-wise. Look at this. Shopify had just a few ticks left, and this is the player you heard talking about right here, Mark. We didn't get to see quite as the spawn came in, but Lqgend just QT nuisance in the end. They get the kills. It's 3 dead, and Optic steals that first hill, and honestly, that felt like quite a dagger.
Certainly did indeed. Shopify did a good job to fight back and take that tower hill to tie the game up at 1-1. But how quickly did that garage hill just disappear in front of our eyes? It felt like what just happened. We didn't see anything. It felt like, from any point of view, outside of this triple kill coming in from Bound, that would suggest it was that dominant, but Optic literally did not step outside of it and just absolutely dominated it.
I mean, the mud hill as well, right? And here was, I mean, when Cykul's last player alive and you got Lqgend just laning pillar door, it's this play as well. Come on. This play is so beautiful. The faked drop, then the kill, then the play of the sniper. Come on. If Lqgend's doing that in given moments, if we apply that across all their gameplay, they are going to be tough to stop, and we are already starting to see that once again.
Optic fans looking understandably pretty happy with how things are going at the moment, knowing what they've done previously when they've had to play against Shopify Rebellion in a grand finals and had to reset the bracket to become champions. But now we up the pace. We go to Forbidden. We have capture the flag in front of us. First team to capture 3 flags here or be ahead on time will be the winner.
Not gonna lie, the fact that this game is right here in this series, it just feels like it's perfectly placed to see a little things maybe just slow down to a bit more strategic gameplay, some dual sniper action, and we would like nothing less than a few good sniper battles in this game type. It just feels like it's awfully fitting that we are now here in a CTF Forbidden. Optic Gaming, they take the lead 2-1. Shopify now gonna look to tie it up.
Renegade's gonna grab that sniper rifle here on the Optic Gaming side, up 2-1 in the series. Interesting to see who grabs it actually on the other side, but Bound doesn't care who's grabbing it. He's picking up 2 kills himself. Renegade takes down the last. That's 4 dead.
No one grabs the snipe because they're all dead. Optic Gaming with the perfect opening. Overshield control as well.
He's just going to grab this and run it. Teammates, I trust you. I'll take the bullets. I've got the overshield. Lqgend is moving. Lqgend is grooving. And he's got that flag back all the way through the rat tunnel already. And Shopify really struggling to get on the map.
This is unbelievable. And there's going to be another sniper in their hand as well based on what we just saw. And the overshield is going to escort Lqgend all the way home. And in 49 seconds, they get a flag on the board. Optic Gaming leads 1-0. Unbelievable.
That is absolutely devastating for Shopify Rebellion. Optic with the hottest of hot starts. Renegade still with his sniper rifle in his hand. Does take a fair bit of damage, but Royal 2 can't finish that kill. Lqgend will go down, and Royal 2 will re-challenge. Still 1 bullet to play with, and this man could do a lot of damage with that.
I was going to say, the only time you're safe is if Renegade has no bullets. With 1 here, he can still do quite a lot of damage on the map. Finally, he's taken down.
Well, Shopify managed to get a bit of presence at least here, pick up a couple of kills. 2 dead for Optic Gaming. Cykul in a position to maybe actually run this flag. And he's going to run it up the main ramp. Waiting for his shields to come back. Gets around that corner, but Renegade just in a position there to cut him down. Bound will find another. So Shopify going to have to pick up multiple kills here. Otherwise, this is going to be a dead flag.
Melted. Multiple team shots coming in there. LastShot with the sidekick joining the party, and that's going to take care of Formal quite quickly. And another kill coming in from LastShot with the sidekick. It's a perfect. Doing everything he can to keep this game close.
Overshield, the next point of contention for both these teams. It's popping right this second. A couple of shot grenades are going to go in to try and deny the space for Optic to move towards it. With kills being split either side at the moment, you can still up top middle. Royal 2 tried to make the play for it, but did not collect it.
You feel like if Royal 2 got that, this would be a very different scenario on your screen right now. Instead, Formal's able to hold down the base, and the overshield will still be down top middle. Yes, Frosty will grab it, but it will delay the pull.
3 players from Optic now on the respawn. And that overshield, as effective as it can be, he's not going to be full. But the positioning for Shopify pretty good for this run. Bound, falls, 2 dead here for Optic.
So far, so good for them. They need to continue the run and take down Lqgend here in the pistol.
Who's going for that flag, though? Who's running that flag? Still down, Shopify making sure that they're looking for the slays, but are they overslaying? Or are they going to get this second touch? Are they going to be able to force this? 2 dead for Optic still. It's a 2v2 on the map, but that flag is now back in the rat tunnel.
Yeah, keep an eye on the kill feed also now. Going to be LastShot just flying towards the flag and trying to clear this area out, but Formal in position. Not going to have time to grab the snipe, so this flag should go. Yes, indeed, we're tied up 1-1.
Yeah, great little bit of patience there from Shopify Rebellion, not getting carried away with the situation as Frosty is 5 in a row. He goes on a killing spree.
What a good response once again from Shopify and Optic. I mean, when you score the flag in 49 seconds, like we said, that can be also pretty demoralizing, but Shopify manages to get back onto the scoreboard yet again. The question is, what does the mid-game and the late game hold? Flag is now being pulled.
Frosty under a little bit of pressure here, but Cykul's going to alleviate some of that pressure for him. Spots out Bound. Oh! Deletes Bound with a backspace.
Beautifully done, and once again, that's a high-pressure scenario. As we saw pressure on the flag yet again, it's all about now top-mid. Overshield coming up in just 13 seconds.
Renegade picks up the sniper rifle on the Optic side, so we have both snipes in play. Bound's going to have a little peek just to check what Frosty's position is. Overshield coming up very, very soon, though. And Frosty is looking to make a play off it, but it looks like Optic are more than aware of his position.
Unsurprisingly, things slow down. A little bit of pre-nades here coming in from Frosty as he doesn't want anyone dropping down. 3 dead. Frosty, last player alive. Here comes the overshield push.
Oh, it's deja vu. It's deja vu. Lqgend's in your base. Lqgend's got Obi. But this time, they absolutely shred him off the respawn. Shopify did a fantastic job there.
Talk about timing on the respawns, right? They just immediately spawn and they just pre-nade the flag and it explodes. And luckily, it's perfectly placed nades, takes out the overshielded player, and Lqgend is not able to get away with that flag. They now find themselves 2 down. Here comes Cykul.
Cykul trying to put some pressure on these Optic respawners at the moment. Renegade has fallen. So a momentary numerical advantage here for Shopify Rebellion, which gives Cykul the indication that he might be able to go forward, but Optic are ready for him.
Now on board Renegade. Gonna grab some dynamos and see if he can make something happen. There is minor man advantage, so he'll be able to have a little bit of extra space on the map here.
Gives Frosty the tingles. And a beautiful grenade onto Cykul. Will guarantee him a kill. Beat down shenanigans there. We'll end up in a trade. A Shopify 2 dead and the flag might be moving.
Flag might be moving, indeed. On board with Formal now. Let's see here. It's still tied 1-1. Let's get into a listen-in with Optic Gaming.
I almost found it here and shit.
We need
Careful. Up also weak too.
I'll flag dish, I'll flag weak. We can't flag
Yeah,
it.
dead. Our top right weak too. One's hitting our backup, I think too.
I don't see anything.
Back up, watch it.
So you should back up.
Nice, nice save.
Back flag also.
Here, man.
What's up, Shelby?
One about.
I know. He's got guys 20.
On the pistol.
He's on the pistol. He might kill me, bro. Kill me. He's on the pistol, Shelby.
Back up there.
I'm a hawk.
Back up again, going flag right.
Henry. All coming. I'm a hawk, Cykul.
Let's go, man.
Oh, less than 10 here, guys.
Here. On the west one. Say 11 and a half, man. Just a plug in cap.
I'm a hawk.
Okay, he's on.
Wait, top left.
Nice. Come in.
Another guy, watch it.
Watch your flash,
Shopify cap. They're up 2-1 now. The overshield's up as well. Formal and the boys need to go.
And man, does Shopify keep things very dicey there. You got to hear it during the listen. And Formal does not get the overshield either.
Cykul, with his eyes traced onto that overshield. Now has his time with that sniper rifle. A big pick. That overshield is still up, but I'm not sure that anyone knows where it is. Finally, it gets picked up. It's going to be Shopify and Frosty who have it in their control. Excuse me, LastShot has it.
LastShot grabs it. That felt like a cinematic moment. Formal just staring at the overshield around the corner. And like you said, Cykul had the sight line absolutely locked down. Here comes Shopify, already leading. They want to pull again and end the game here.
LastShot being as aggressive as you would ask him to be with this overshield, but Lqgend has that sniper rifle. He manages to pick one. And from a situation he has no right, comes out of that situation with 2.
Another 1v1 here in the hut. Might win this as well, and keeps Optic Gaming alive. And plenty of time on the game clock, just under 5 minutes left to play.
He falls there. Shopify have their snipe on their hut with 1 flag needed. He picks up a double out of nowhere, finds a third, and then blames another on his way forward. Now he's running your flag.
Formal also helping here in the hut. They're going to slow things down, though, realizes he needs to focus on this. Formal picks up the first. However, Lqgend will be taken down 3v3 on the pull.
Renegade finds another, though. Cykul just playing in the back of his base. Renegade staying alive just long enough here for Optic to keep map control. Look at the positions, though, of Bound and Formal. They are pushing into the Shopify hut.
Important play from Frosty here. What does he do to stay alive? Renegade doubles all the way back. He's going to run into him here.
2 players, though, to deal with. Frosty gonna look for the trade in this position, comes out even better than that. 2 dead for Optic Gaming, and Shopify stepping forward onto the Optic side of the map.
How about that play from Frosty to fly into the pistol, then double back, wait for help as well. It's 2 dead for Optic Gaming. Here comes Frosty.
One's just off the respawn as well. I think they might have the timing here. Lqgend did get a spawn. But Royal 2 gets the overshield. Renegade, you're toast. And Royal 2 is probably saying to his teammates, run that flag. I can get these kills.
He knows. That's a big trade for Formal, however, still a man advantage. It's a 2v1 on the map right now as the flag will continue running through Rat.
I don't know if Optic can stop this one. I don't know if there's anyone in position. I think this is going to be it. Renegade, the last hope, and the G-Slide is there, but it's not going to be capped just yet.
Does not get it. Here comes Cykul, though. He will be there, and yes, Shopify Rebellion will get the flag and tie up the series 2-2. Whew.
We hope you're comfy, everyone, wherever you're watching, whether it's here in SLC with the best seats in the house, whether you're at home watching, whether you're at your PC, TV, tablet, phone, whatever it is.
Tablet.
Pretty sure flip phones can do it these days as well.
I think so. How about Shopify also? After a win like that, look at the composure right now. Just talking through the game, talking through the series, there's not even really a pop-off. And that tells you how locked in they are. I mean, these are guys you've seen LastShot specifically get absolutely crazy after a win, but instead, feels like a very different grand final for them. They're locked in with one job and one thing to do. LastShot, by the way, leads the game and kills 16 and 14 there.
Pretty good stuff all round on the side of Shopify. Quite one for Bound in that game, 8 and 15 for him. They're going to talk about the reaction in the room to that win as well. Very straight. I haven't felt that kind of reaction in some time. It felt like everyone was like, okay, we're probably going game 7. It was that kind of like reaction of like, okay, we're going to see a lot of Halo here. This is going to be back and forth, and it's understandable.
Yeah.
It wasn't almost like Optic fans disappointed, obviously, but like they were just like, okay, next game. And Shopify fans were like, okay, we're not going to win in the next game. Okay, next game.
Yep.
Like, this one just feels like it's going to go the distance.
And how about Optic Gaming with this opening, 4 dead. Shopify doesn't even get their sniper rifle, and there's a flag that goes in. Excuse me, it wasn't 4, now it's 48 seconds. But Shopify answers back immediately And not only that, but they play a great mid game, and most importantly, when it looked like they might have gone down 2-1, how about Frosty pushing out main ramp and just flying out pistol? It's hero plays like that off the spawn, understanding the task and looking for the team shots that made the difference. Even like there, remember, Lqgend pulling that flag, it was a dangerous scenario, could have easily gone 2-2. Instead, Frosty comes around. Yes, he gets taken down due to the flag angle. And look, not phased, not whatsoever. Cykul gonna grab this one. It's just another day at the office for him. Fist pounds exchanged. Optic fans not too happy with it. But hey, we got more Halo on the main stage, and we would not have it any other way, as we said. Let's take a look at the series layout. It is 2-2. Each team exchanging blows 1-for-1. As we now find ourselves heading into Game 5, all knotted up.
All tied up, 2-2. Series will not resolve itself in this next game. But we have to turn our attention to that Game 2 Slayer. Origin, different map of course, different feel to it. But it was dominated by Shopify Rebellion. Do Optic have a big Slayer performance in their locker here to go ahead in the series?
You get the feeling for Optic Gaming, this sort of feels a little bit like the biggest game of the series, where looked like they had the edge at 2-1, they would have been comfortable, and I think right here in this game they're realizing, okay, we need to be stepping up here and now, otherwise this one could end in the first best of 7. Slayer Recharge will now be your go-ahead game.
A lot of pressure on the shoulders of both teams. But Optic Gaming, if they want to send it to the second best of 7, like you quite rightly say, probably feeling that pressure just a little bit more. Camo, shock rifle, all of them are going to influence how this game goes. We're into the next game here, all tied up at 2-2.
LastShot goes for that instant, does not connect right away. A few kills exchanged early on the side of the stage, so LastShot going to wrap for an angle here. Knows there might be some extra pressure in the tunnel. Wow, trades out both. That's a big trade for LastShot. Should maybe lead to a camo grab. Here they come.
Yeah, Formal last alive. Throws a couple of grenades down bottom middle. We'll get some damage, but the camo should be picked up here. And yes, indeed, it's Cykul who gets it. Formal still alive. Now he's dead. Great shots from Cykul.
The fade away, but there's pressure here in Whirlpool. He did not get away. So even though they get a kill on the board, we're tied up 5-5 off of a really fast-paced opening from both teams.
And after a disappointing previous game, Bounce starting this one off extremely well. 3 kills, leading the lobby as he picks up his second death along the way. But I love that play call from Optic. Don't let them get away with camo. Sacrificing a couple of deaths maybe to make sure that camo isn't effective.
It was aggression answered by aggression. Wow, Frosty just right in the face of Renegade, takes him down. However, the shock will be picked up by Formal off of that trade, but Cykul hits the stick on the pre-nade. That's beautifully done, and talk about a fast-paced opening on a Recharge Slayer. You're witnessing it here in game number 5.
Look at Cykul here, he's just pushing forward. Wants to try and trap Optic. Look at the map control that Shopify Rebellion have. There's a lot of targets in front of Cykul here, and he can't quite connect in the way that he wanted to.
Yeah, moving maybe a little bit too fast, right? He rotated there all the way from Gold Stairs to get a peek on long haul, and he runs into 2 players, Formal and Lqgend, and that's a very difficult 1v2, to put it lightly.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah, Shopify up 10 to now tied game, but we can't really even keep up with the score here, as we're now tied 10-10.
Optic done a great job here, actually. They were trapped on the long haul for quite some time. Finally, Shopify making a bit of progress. LastShot doesn't check his corners, and that's going to cost them. Little mistakes like that can start to add up as Optic go into a 1-kill lead.
Lqgend, a small little Frenchman. He can kind of tuck himself right behind that crate. You can't see him.
Lqgend.
He's sneaky.
Having a big performance here, though. 4-2 in this game. Looking to pick up another one here. LastShot, a couple of grenades go down. LastShot wins that fight. And Optic will be 2 dead. Shopify into a momentary lead here, and it extends very quickly. They pick up a couple more kills. A few more pieces fall. Lqgend, though, off the spawn, hits the 5.
The pace has not slowed here, and just when you feel like a team is getting an opening, it feels like a player just like that. Lqgend answers back. However, it is the double kill, like you said, from LastShot that has given a little bit of a lead here, a little bit of a gap for the side of Shopify Rebellion. They now lead by 5.
I think Shopify feel like Optic are feeling a little bit frustrated after how that last game went. They were being so aggressive in taking space on the map here. They're saying to Optic, if you want to take these fights, we're happy to take them as well.
Well, they're going to also wrap around. Great work there.
Brilliant evasion from Cykul.
Love that from Cykul. He knew the help was going to come from C-Plat side, so he just plays a little bit of ring around the rosy around the box in long haul, and they get away with it, and now they are starting to pull away.
A lot of comparisons, understandably so, from pros, analysts alike, fans at home, between this man and the iconic I Got Your Pistola. That was a great example of it. Survivability when it felt like he had no right to. Now he's got a 2v1. Gets out of it with at least one.
That's amazing to get that kill yet. We'll see if LastShot can maybe wrap around. He's not able to get fully into the trippy corner, so it'll be 2 dead for both sides now. Royal 2, last player alive. A big swing for Optic Gaming to keep the game close.
Renegade's going to challenge this. Got to be careful though, because there's 2 players, but the support is now coming. Bound gets the double kill. It's now a 4-kill game.
They take the bait as well. They force the split spawns. Look how Cykul comes up there here. 2v2 on the map, but the split spawns were key because the Cykul tries to help Royal 2. That costs them, and now the game is within 4, about to be 3.
Frosty trying to escape, Frosty trying to survive, and Frosty being extremely elusive. Finally gets taken down. Shopify still split on the map here, by the way. Optic have done a great job of keeping them in 2v2 scenarios, and perfect starting to flow for Bound.
A blistering pace all the way past the halfway point in this game. It's still just a 2-kill game, but teams just flying at one another. Renegade is able to get the camo, while Optic Gaming only trails by 1. Game in his hands here.
Royal 2 with the pick onto Lqgend though. Just slows down the pace ever so slightly for Renegade. Catches one off guard. Another player gonna be a Turbine, gets absolutely shredded. And that is a big turning point in this game.
Good damage from Frosty there. Frosty could have easily been picked off in the pipes. Instead, he gets 2 to 3 shots into Renegade with camo. They neutralize it right away, so Shopify will now maintain that 3-kill lead instead of letting it slip away.
Just not letting Optic ride off that little bit of momentum they got there. Neutralizing the camo, not letting them split them on the spawns and get that lead back into their favor. A fantastic defensive 20 or 30 seconds there from Shopify. And as we have all 8 players alive on the map, Lqgend will find the first. And we now have a 2-kill game.
It's going to be really slowing down. Another one comes in for Formal now, just a 1-kill game. And what felt like it was a comfortable lead for Shopify moments ago has now been reduced to nothing. It's tied up here.
LastShot knew the pressure was coming. You can see him checking left, checking right. But at some point that pressure came as Optic keep this game close. 2 kills though. The advantage is Optic full 3 dead.
Yeah, it's big. Formal going to be your last player alive. He'll have to wait for spawners. Looks like they will be comfortably at gold as well as pipe, so they will spawn together, but it's still a 2-kill lead, and unsurprisingly, it will come down to this next camo. That will determine how we head into the 40s.
So from a blistering pace to a complete and utter standstill. 8 players alive on the map. Everybody standing still, looking for angles and looking for damage.
Royal 2 happy to lane that. Bound tries to get a little bit of damage in. However, Royal 2 wins that little engagement. Cykul tries to go up top gold, but immediately gets punished off of the skill jump. He's going to have to retreat.
Frosty gets the stick though, Bound trades it out. Cykul wants to go off this damage, you can see it. He's flying towards pipes. Royal 2 doing a great job to keep him alive in this scenario, and somehow Optic can't quite find him. No trade. Does get the trade. Couple of, maybe a teammate helping him out in that situation. Frosty in a 1v1 on the long pole. Instead turns his attention towards Turbine, multiple targets. A lot of damage as well as the camo is picked up by Royal 2.
During all the chaos you just saw off screen, Royal 2 able to grab it. Still a 2-kill lead for them. And now you feel like Royal 2 has a chance to ensure that they move into the mid-40s comfortably. How does he play this?
One of the most iconic moments in Halo Infinite was Royal 2 sniping Formal on this game type when Formal had the camo. With just 1 kill separating the 2 teams, can someone on Optic do something similar and rewrite the history books?
Optic out-rotates camo perfectly. Optic out-rotates at C-Plat. The camo will not be a factor, and it's still just a 1-kill game.
Shopify starting to surround Optic though. Ooh. The timing is on the side of Royal 2. Lqgend didn't see him, but Formal gets that first pick. We have a tie game here as Royal 2 is looking for targets. Can't quite find them. Lqgend finds one, Renegade finds another. Now Royal 2's last alive.
Last alive, Optic Gaming takes the lead by 2. Royal 2 tries to make something happen for Blue Pipes, but cannot, and now he just needs to stay alive.
He's out. He just wants out. Doesn't want to be another death. As Renegade has that shock rifle in his hands.
Not much ammo to play with, but a 2-kill lead, and the shock in hand is the most important thing. And Royal 2, we thought he was poised to get a flank going. Instead, he's not out-rotated once, he's out-rotated twice as the team gets kills around him. And it's still a 2-kill lead for Optic Gaming with a lot of time on the game clock.
Camo in around 10 seconds. Renegade, though, has the chance to hit the shot here that could change how this series goes. Not just this game. Nades fly into tower from Shopify Rebellion. They get a pick, and most importantly, it's the pick on the shock rifle player. LastShot with a double, LastShot with the shock rifle.
2 dead, but Optic's still in the lead here. It's all about this camo bottom middle.
Oh, he's sending it. LastShot with the slide, LastShot with the pick. Optic Gaming lose the lead Shopify Rebellion up by 1 as Royal 2 finds himself a camo.
What an answer, what a pick,
On the
and what a
butt ledge.
camo grab. Now 48-46, 2 kills away.
LastShot gets the pick.
There
Royal
he is.
2, there's 1. Shopify close out. Shopify 1 map away.
Backs against the wall, down by 2 kills. Do not have the shock rifle, and they pick down the angle. The pre-nades. Renegade tries to fly across a bridge. He gets punished at top control, and they waste no time. How about it? LastShot also going back to the stacks, picking up a few more kills. That paves the way, as you said, for Royal 2 to grab the camo, and he gets a free invitation into pipes through the bat ledge. Goes behind enemy lines and wins the game along with the gold push. 50-47 is your final score. Shopify Rebellion 1 game away from winning the tournament.
20 kills in the biggest game of LastShot's career. 20 and 13, and not just the 20 kills. The push into tower, the shock rifle kill onto stacks that gave them the advantage. He is playing like a man that was built for these moments.
And it started off the rip. Let's not forget, LastShot actually goes all the way through C. He wraps to stacks to help the bottom middle challenges around pipes as well as camo. That gave you an idea of the pace setting from Shopify. They were going to be all over the map. They were going to play this game quick. They were not going to give Optic Gaming room. And it paid off in the end. A 3-kill margin, as you say, in a game where LastShot goes +7. Take a look at some of the highlights here.
LastShot with some really big trades in this game as well, and it felt like he had no right to. So many camos that were neutralized. And when we crossed around 40 kills, it felt like Optic had the game in their hands. Renegade had that shock rifle and the chance to pick one of the players from Shopify as the camo went up. But the play call from Shopify in tower, the multiple nades that flooded in, LastShot with a double, challenges on the stacks here, cleans up bound, damages formal.
Man,
it's a game-changing play from that young man.
Absolutely. One back whack comes in. Also a trade at top gold. As you see, LastShot. Also, LastShot's the one who also flies at the top gold, by the way. He didn't just do damage on 4 players. He does damage on 5 because he catches the spawner at top gold as well. And that's how you go +7, ladies and gentlemen, in the grand finals on the main stage, is shooting every single player and then the first spawner to help them win 50-47 now. Shopify only needs to win one of these next 2 games to be not only your champion, but for the first time shut down Optic Gaming this season.
And bring a first HCS major trophy to the organization as well. Shopify Rebellion will be certainly taking the boys out for dinner if they're able to close out here, but I want to talk about the game type. We have Fortress Bomb. When this game type was introduced into the circuit for this year, Shopify Rebellion were light years ahead of everybody else. Royal 2 found a new home on the spiral in his opponent's base. And Optic, it was the one game type that felt like it was eluding them in those close games and series that we saw between the 2 teams. Since then, Optic have become extremely proficient on this game type. You could not ask for a better game type to decide if we go the distance to Game 7 or if Shopify will claim a championship.
And it's like we said in that last game, Optic Gaming would have been starting to feel the pressure. I think we can safely say now that they will feel the pressure. Aside from Game 7 in Arlington, they have not been in this position, 1 game away from losing it, right? Let's not forget what the second best of 7 looked like. They still want to send us there, but they need to win both of these games back-to-back, and it starts off here on Fortress. We're underway.
All right then, Salt Lake City, this could be the final game of our grand finals, the final game of the event, with 2 more events ahead of us. Optic Gaming need this one to send it the distance, to give themselves a chance at resetting the bracket.
And as we said, Optic Gaming, with the grand finals performances they've had, they've started to pull away more and more as the year has gone on, especially last event in Dallas. This is a very unfamiliar territory for them to now be backs against the walls in the first best of 7 and a must-win scenario.
LastShot finds 2. Pushes forward, Royal 2, he's feeling good. Don't want to challenge this one, Bound, because Royal 2 is feeling a little bit frisky, but unfortunately for him, the ammo runs out and Bound will take advantage. He grabs the sniper rifle, just the 1 bullet. That's all he needs to have an impact.
A little bit of mind games there, dancing around the pillar on both sides, and as you say, in the end, it's going to be Bound that comes away with the single bullet left in the sniper rifle, but they'll reset in their base and try to challenge out, push their tower side.
Lqgend gets a pick, which is going to allow Optic just to gain a little bit of map control here to move forward. Bomb is just ever so slightly on their side of the map. LastShot! What on earth has he had for breakfast? We know that he's one of the best aims, pure aims, in the Halo Championship Series. We've shown it at a grand final now.
Frosty, last player alive on your screen here, and going to make sure that that bomb is not grabbed and just going to advance this just a bit. I like to play here from Frosty to buy a lot of time for his team, and not just time, but if he plays this correctly, an opportunity and an advantage.
I mean, Optic now have to turn around, right? They're probably thinking move forward, get that bomb going. Now they've got to worry, and now they're 2 dead.
Cannot allow a player like Frosty to do what he is doing. It's 3 dead for Optic Gaming. He was the last player alive. And finally, he's taken down due to pressure from a few different angles, but now momentary still man advantage for Optic off of the respawn. They'll likely toss this bomb out. Overshield popping bottom mid right now.
3 dead for Shopify. Optic do a great job, actually. Lqgend does a fantastic job as last alive to do the damage required for his teammates to get back on the map. And now Bound says, I'll bring this bomb towards your base. We've dealt with the pressure early. And with Renegade on the hunt and Shopify Rebellion 3 dead, that bomb is marching its way towards the Shopify base.
Frosty first spawner, this is dangerous. He's already very weak. He likely will get cleaned up here, and so
Cykul.
will Cykul.
Cykul spawns right in front of the reticle. That's 3 dead again. Where is that bomb? Killing spree here for Bound. Optic with a huge opportunity to plant.
World 2 on the wing. He probably does not have the angle, and there's multiple players here from Optic Gaming.
Renegade with his head down. Fuse lit. Optic will be up by 1.
What a way to do it as well, to answer back in that fashion, to just fly across the base. I also love the decision for Bound to not play the bomb. He just walks it across, like you said, marches it across the map. Formal was the last player alive. A staggered 4 dead. We'll see if Shopify can respond.
Frosty wins that battle. 2 dead on either side at the moment, although Shopify have that spawner just coming up in time. And the sniper rifle will be stolen away from the Optic side of the base. Formal. Peekaboo. There's 1. That's a killing spree for Frosty. He's going to play that snipe so smart.
You could tell by the angling, everyone knew what he was about to do as he starts to slowly pull that reticle up. He was just giving that sniper rifle some trajectory if he died on the way, and that's exactly what he does. He burns that entire sniper rifle after getting the kill.
2 dead hit for Shopify Rebellion. Optic up by 1. Scary thing here for Shopify is the fact that once Optic got that 3 dead, it was an instantaneous bomb arm for them. Cykul with his sniper rifle. He's going to be chased down. Bound, it's starting to come to life in this series.
I also love they didn't panic, right? They weren't arming immediately. However, they continued to deal the damage. And most importantly, even with a player Royal 2 on the wing, they still got the arm in a single hold. Bomb will reset bottom middle.
I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. Throws that snipe off the map. Royal 2 gets the beat down from height. Great. Shopify will be 2 dead. That was important for Royal 2 to actually get that kill.
Yeah, great risk management and kind of rare risk management from a player like Bound, right? Think about him 2 years ago. We wouldn't really see plays like that, but now they're making all the smart plays when they're up 1-0, and they know the pressure that's on in this game. But here comes Shopify, 2 dead, and Overshield in play as well.
Oh, left cross as well with a bomb in the hand. Overshield being enough for Frosty to get that bomb up to the front of the base. It just about holds on to the lip there. Renegade's taken down as well. Next few slays could be so important as to Optic being able to defend their base, or if Shopify might be thinking of an arm.
Killing spree for Cykul. It was a big initial kill coming in from Renegade, but Cykul still trying to just maximize the mayhem in the back of the Optic base.
Bound, such an important kill. 11-7 for Bound in this game. Renegade still trying to hold off the pressure from Shopify Rebellion. That bomb is perilously close to their base.
Bomb reset.
Still in the respawn screen. That bomb reset comes in at just the right second for them.
Oh, man, two things there. Frosty's on the front door with the overshielded bomb. How big is the melee, first of all? And then Renegade is your last player alive, by the way. Picks up another kill while we're still talking about his last sequence of events. Only player alive on the back stairs, and he hits the pre-nade to make sure the bomb does not advance.
And now, that bomb is progressing back towards the Shopify side of the map.
Oh, four dead.
And off the back of defense comes offense once again for Optic Gaming. They're up by 1. The fuse is lit again. They're up by 2.
What a sequence of events for Renegade. A masterclass, a clinic from him as he has the single solo defensive effort to stop the bomb, stays alive long enough for spawning teammates, and then ensures that this thing comes across. They lead now 2-0.
And Optic are keeping the pressure on here. That was another 3 dead for Shopify. Frosty, he's weak. He gets picked off. Everybody else is on the elbow. Off the spawn here. One player playing sneaky. That's going to be Royal 2, I believe, in that corner, and will just allow them to breathe for a second, but Optic, once they get that bomb moving, boy, do they look good.
Man, Bound last player alive. Look at the damage he's doing. He picks up a kill, and then another assist, and additional damage. Bound was the only player on the map. Finally, he's taken down, but look at the time he bought. That overshield is neutralized immediately, all because Bound was able to stay alive, essentially in a 1v3, and deal an enormous amount of damage. He's 14-9.
Well, just a moment to breathe for everyone, I think, at the moment. Ourselves included. Legend with a sniper rifle here on the Optic side. We see him pop up in the feed as he pops ahead across map. Frosty will find one just to slow the opportunity to move forward, but Bound every single time we're seeing the feed just popping up time and time again.
Do not
getting
peek.
that first damage or first pick.
How about they poke a shoulder out and Legend just sends it right back into the elbow corner. Not safe to show yourself whatsoever. Now, make no mistake, this game is far from over with 5:30 left. Optic Gaming knows you can very quickly back-to-back if you lose map control. So priority for them will not just be map control, but ensuring that they're in control of game management, knowing exactly where that bomb is and holding down the lanes, but they're too dead.
Well, 2 challenges. That's just not a good idea.
Not right now.
Legend still with plenty of ammo in the sniper rifle as well. He's been posted up in the tower for quite some time. Shopify playing the other side of the map. Again, look at the kill feed. Bound picks up another kill. And Legend probably is quite happy to play this position. If this was a 0-0 game, you expect Legend to be flying forward,
right,
getting into the armory, but having that advantage means that he can just hold map.
Yeah, a 2-0 cushion is such a big deal on how they can play this game. They can play so obnoxious, and as you say, just play the lead into their favor even further.
Frosty spots out Legend!
Not over.
And Frosty connects. Optic Gaming on the back foot. Bomb is going to be thrown off the map, though.
All about this next overshield. 4:30, as we said. There's still quite a bit of time. And if Shopify can stack not only control and a few kills, and they already have 2 dead, if they can get this kill, this will be 3, and this should be a free overshield.
Need to think about moving this bomb forward. Respawn is taking damage as well. Formal's going to be weak on the spiral. Overshield gets popped up. Frosty starts to march that bomb towards the base. Royal 2 also in position with his sniper rifle, but Renegade picks up one on LastShot. Like you say, Cykul also falls in this push.
Cykul and LastShot fall. This is falling apart for Shopify Rebellion, and what a counter from Optic Gaming as they take down not only 3, but the overshield as well to hold the line.
It was Renegade who picked up that kill on Royal 2, and he's picking up another one now, leading the lobby for kills. 20 and 14. And back in Arlington, this was the man who dragged Optic Gaming through that elimination bracket. And he's looking to do something similar here in this grand final.
Numbers from him, unbelievable so far. It's so comfortable. Royal 2 does check his corners, but Renegade's very happy to trade there. And they'll maintain not just map control, but also the man advantage. And Legend is just going to hold this in an obnoxious spot. Keep in mind, Shopify does not know exactly where this bomb is, only because he's dropping while they find out, but only drops because that gives them an opportunity for 3 dead. Here comes the push.
Royal 2 grabs the sniper rifle, but Legend already pressurizing him. Flies forward, he wants the kill. Royal 2 gonna have to be careful here. A couple of nades go down, and Royal 2 will win that, but traded out immediately. That means that sniper rifle is not a worry momentarily for Optic Gaming. Renegade last alive. He has the sniper rifle here for Optic.
Cykul grabs snipe as well. He's going to be tower now. Grabs it immediately, so it will be a Cykul versus Renegade sniper battle. 2:57 left in the game, and every second that ticks by is another second in favor of Optic Gaming.
Bomb in a neutral position for now. This is all about kills. Optic know if they win the slaying battle this last 3 minutes or so, then they will be sending us the distance in this first best of 7. The pick on Cykul, massive.
Look how Renegade does not even go spiral. He waits on the nades. 2 dead for Optic, though. Not over, but perfectly played for Renegade until that moment. 2 dead for each side.
Frosty in a 1v1 with Legend. Legend gonna win it. Cykul collects his sniper rifle, though, and keeps the pressure on.
Massive grab here on the overshield. Ooh, even though it's dicey on the map right now, and even though there's 3 dead for Optic, Cykul is most importantly worried about the overshield and then continued map control. He's finally taken down, so they will need to reset. However, it's now a 3v3 on the map.
Legend just able to walk in the window a little bit too easily there. No LOSs onto him from the rest of Shopify, who were kind of focusing their attention on getting that bomb under the Optic base. Off the back of it, Legend was managed to get that important kill, and an even more important double kill now from Renegade means Optic will take down every single member of Shopify Rebellion and keep that bomb in their control.
Staggered 4 dead. First 2 spawners are up. So Renegade just going to go ahead and bring this all the way back around and eat a lot of time. He's going to be very happy to sit elbow little bit of matchmaking strategies here. We've all done this a few times, and
Why
not?
That bomb's going off the map in around 10 seconds.
Yeah,
time.
why not on the main stage? If any pressure comes, he's just going to slowly toss this off the map, and this is what we call very good game management. You timed it perfectly. The bomb is off the map, and they will stay at 2-0 with just about 75 seconds left in the game.
Well, Shopify Rebellion are going to have to be perfect in this last 90 seconds or so. But Renegade with another kill, 25 now for him.
Bomb's already moving.
Royalty's got that bomb under the base, though. Bound and Form will still alive. Bound will find one. 3v3 on the map. A little bit split, but Lqgend with the kill onto Royal 2. And Cykul being flushed out as well. Should give Optic the space they need to repeat exactly what they did with that bomb a few moments ago.
Really well done. They bring it all the way over. Even though the bomb got all the way under the base, they made sure to get the kills that they needed. And now with 41 seconds left and the 2-bomb lead, great job here from our observers to tell us exactly the shenanigans that Optic Gaming is pulling off on the elbow. They will just wait and bait the time yet again, as you say, Mark. Continuing to hold, and they'll wait out this time because they have earned the ability to do so with a fantastic 11.5 minutes of play so far. They still lead 2-0, and they will continue to hold in the basement window.
Well, Formal gives us a beautiful, picturesque look of the outside of Fortress. And that bomb is going to get a close-up as it's jumped off the map again. 10 seconds left in this game. Bomb will set around 5 seconds left in the game. Shopify can't do anything about it. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going the distance in the first best of 7 here. Optic will win it. We're tied up at 3-3.
Many of you will remember, or you may just have some sort of feeling in your stomach now that we may have been here before. And you'd be absolutely right as we think back to Arlington and a Game 7 first set. That went one specific direction. It was Optic Gaming that took Game 7 to force a second series against Shopify. And even though it didn't feel like we might go that same exact way, we have done exactly that. Optic Gaming will take game number 6, and they will send us to a series deciding and potentially tournament deciding, based on how it goes, game number 7 Slayer.
And it wouldn't be funny if Optic Gaming, who have struggled, lost both Slayers in this series, find a way to win one to send us to a second best of 7. This is some of the replays coming in from that game that we just watched, Andy. How efficient and ruthless were Optic once they got that forward end. Perfect with that arm.
It's amazing to watch, to be honest, and like we said, just the fact that you have Bound kind of playing a sniper rifle on his own accord tells you a lot about how Optic's approaching this game, this series, and just how seriously they're taking this. And it was all about game management. It really was from the side of Optic Gaming, and amazing 1v1 sniper battles, but at the end of the day, it just felt like even when Optic was losing over shields, they were able to manage them perfectly.
And a huge amount of credit to Optic. We mentioned before this game got underway, at the start of the season, this game type belonged to Shopify Rebellion. No one could touch them when it came to this game type. Well, you can see the hard work that's been put in. You can see the reps, the VOD, the games that have been played on Fortress Bomb from Optic to work out how they want to approach it. And even though they were on the back foot for quite a few moments in that game, you felt like the control was always theirs.
Really did. A lot of moments too. Like you saw this, by the way, Fortress beautiful this time of year. As Formal, as you said, gives us a nice look at the vista.
Beautiful vistas.
And Optic Gaming fans, they're hyped up once again because we are going to a Game 7, and to be honest, we would not have it any other way. Look at this serious layout. Beautiful so far. Back and forth, as we said. You might have thought that Shopify might have had it there. Not the case. It will have to be decided in a 7th game between these two titans.
So here we are. Optic dominating the objectives, but the one that was won by Shopify and the Slayers alongside it bring us to this point. One game to decide if Shopify will step forward and claim their first trophy, or one game to decide if we do this all again.
Tell you what,
how you feeling?
As neutral fans, I'm ready to do a lot more.
Same.
I think everyone here in the room is ready to do a lot more, even at home as well, depending maybe on what time zone you're in and which team you're supporting. You might have a different argument, but
let me tell you, as a European, I still, if I was in Europe right now and I was up late, I want the second best of 7.
feels like it would be fitting between these two, but it's all now up to these two squads. Will we see Shopify Rebellion hoisting their first trophy of not just the year, but Halo history, and changing the entire story of the year? Or will we see Optic Gaming signing us up for, at minimum, 4 additional games and another best of 7. 2 very different results, Mark, based on how a Slayer goes.
What's your gut telling you?
My gut tells me we're here for a while.
Say, I felt that around game 3.
Yeah.
I think the room felt it around game 3.
Tell you what, it's amazing to be able, I feel so spoiled to be up here with you, to have these 8 players on the stage and a game 7 to decide. It just feels fitting of the current level of Halo Infinite, where we are not just in the year, but in the life cycle. And you gotta think, how iced up is Optic gonna be in this Slayer? Or on the flip side, how ready is Shopify to change the story of the year? Those are our 2 options, and only one of them can be true.
Like I mentioned, after this grand final, just 2 more for Halo Infinite in the Halo Championship Series. Of course, we have Charlotte for the final major of the year before we head to Seattle for the Halo World Championships. If you're here in the room right now and you're watching, enjoy every moment, because these teams on either side of the stage have done this for the entirety of Halo Infinite. Just put on an absolute clinic, so entertaining, giving it their all to bring you, the fans, the entertainment and the brilliance that we get to enjoy.
I think we've got to mention as well, with all the team changes, all the talk about FaZe, SSG, everything that's happened in between these last 2 events, who else but the same rosters that have been in the 1-2 spot, with the exception of DreamHack, all season long. The story has always been about these 2 teams, these 8 players. We find that to be the case in Salt Lake City yet again. And we talked about when the pressure felt like it was fully on Optic Gaming. Now you can safely say it is fully on both sides of the stage.
Spoke to Frosty very quickly on my way to collect an energy drink just before this final. I went, looking good, boys? He went, you're looking good. And I went, thank you. He goes, physically. And I was like, okay, Brad. Didn't know what to do. I was a little bit flustered after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be nervous.
Get some air.
I'd be nervous too. On the side of Shopify, they're going to hope
Don't worry,
nerves...
Jenna. Everything's...
Yeah, no, it's nothing like that. On the side of Shopify, they're going to have to hope that the nerves are settled here, as it's going to be a Slayer live fire to determine whether we have a whole lot more Halo this evening, or we see Shopify raise their first ever trophy. And as we said, send us into a very different second half of the season.
All right then, Salt Lake. This could be the last game. If you're not going to be in Charlotte and you're not going to be at Worlds, give it everything you have. As Optic Gaming and Shopify once again put on an absolute classic in a grand final. If Optic win this one, we go again. If Shopify can close out, they will be your champions.
Frosty with the first snipe of the game. What does he do with it? How does he set the pace? How does he set the tone for game number 7?
So huge to grab this sniper rifle early here, and look at the slowness of this game.
And you know what he's doing there? He's
Aiming
looking for that slide. He's looking for that slide. That's right. That reticle is low. He's ready for someone to fly in here. Cykul has a camo as well. Camo and snipe control in their hand, but they only lead by 1.
Optic looking to out-rotate the timing on the camo as well. Look, just all sliding towards Garage. It looked like Cykul might have...
He's going to hear this.
Got the timing on this. Renegade has that green gun.
Oh,
There's a player behind him in the chimney. Did he get the stick?
Wow.
Somehow
Talk about...
comes out that situation with a trade.
I mean, talk about 2 of the best to ever do it, right? Lqgend is able to eagle eye out the camo, just hiding top chimney, but they also get the stick as well. So you think you might get away with something, but still tit for tat here. It's 6-4 for Shopify. Big stop on the camo, though.
Yeah, Optic given no easy shots here to Frosty at all. Like, Frosty has not had the chance to pull the trigger. He finally does and hits the body. But in a series this tight, he would have been hoping that was the head. Formal gets the pick. 1 kill between the teams. Now it's 0. We are tied up at 6-6.
Just like that, Frosty's forced to retreat and does not connect on either of those shots. And that will be
broken again.
Wasting ammo and playing it, just taking absolutely 0 risks. Just rapid firing the sniper and playing it to make sure it does not go into the hands of Optic. But what does go into the hands of Optic is the lead. They lead by 2 here, 9-7.
Optic, no camo, no sniper rifle, no information,
and they lead.
But they have the lead by 3. It's brilliant from Optic Gaming.
Like you said, every disadvantage and backs against the wall in each of those plays, and Optic Gaming not only finds a way to stay in the game, they find a way to take the lead.
Well, Bounce just found out where the entire roster of Shopify Rebellion are. They're down in the rat tunnel, Frosty with the grenades. And now Frosty sliding out. That's 3 dead for Optic. A response immediately from Shopify Rebellion. We are all tied up once again. It will be a pick coming in as LastShot will be on your POV with a QT that gives Shopify a 1-kill advantage.
Also has a QT, he can QT right out if he needs to, but the shots are so good that he doesn't need to just yet. Gets some extra damage as well, but looks like should be flushed out.
What?
No! He's all over the map!
He's putting the QT to use, and he spotted out the camo here. He knows it's here somewhere.
Oh my.
Legend has no idea. LastShot picks off camo. QT's back. And what a life this is from this man.
He's on every corner of the map. How often do you see a QT versus a camo battle in a straight 1v1 like that? Absolutely picks him apart. Beautifully done. That gives now Shopify a 4-kill lead.
Renegade flies into the back of green though, breaks the shields of LastShot, gets that kill as well. That is a very well-placed grenade. Frosty though manages to trade with Lqgend.
Snipe down cuts.
As Bound will get the kill onto Cykul. Royal 2 taking a lot of damage on top of the tower here. He knows the pressure's coming.
Ooh.
Renegade wants to hunt him down. It's well-placed, that grenade again from Renegade, and now it's a 1-kill game again.
What a nade off a C-box from Renegade. What a nade there. Royal 2, I think he had the timing to go back tower, but Renegade pulls the perfect pre-nade. Bound also pulls the perfect shot.
Snipe in their hands. Frosty wasn't able to get clear shots. Bound. Not an easy shot again, but Renegade with the perfect onto Royal 2 will put Optic into a lead. Still a lot of ammo to work with here for Bound.
Snipe not being a huge factor just yet. Bound starts to connect with it though. And another one, a double kill! Threading needles!
Bound coming to life as this series goes on. He's 11-4.
In a game they lead here by only 3. Unbelievable.
Frosty!
Oh! God!
The tippity top of his head pokes out. It's all the Bound needs.
He's surgical. Do not let this man fix his crosshairs on you. Finally, he's taken down, but not before Optic Gaming goes up 24-20.
Well, Shopify will be relieved. There's no more ammo left, and the Bound has been taken down. Renegade, though, still alive on the map and still causing problems. He'll take down Frosty as Lqgend. Clears out the back of green here. And Cykul finds a pick onto Renegade. There's the QT, though. He waits. He baits. He sees LastShot come back. And this time, LastShot won't get away with it.
It's a big kill, and Optic Gaming knows they just need to keep this cushion. They're up by 5, and they continue as those kills are traded. They do not want to let Shopify back in this game.
Camo coming up in around 10 seconds time. Formal has fallen, and Cykul gets the pick onto Lqgend as well. He's going to not be let escape through the rat tunnel this time. Cykul finds out the green gun hurts. Renegade just misses the jump there, but it might have saved his life as there was a pre-nade coming in and Shopify have secured the camo.
This is how the producers would have written it. 24-28, they're down by 4. LastShot with camo.
2 dead. For Optic Gaming, Royal 2's chasing down members of Optic at the back of the tower. It's 4 dead! It's 4 dead for Optic. It's a 1-kill game.
LastShot plays it perfectly, doesn't try to get too crafty, doesn't try to get too aggressive with the camo, instead just plays the advantage, gets the damage that he needs, and also catches Renegade off guard, tied at 29.
Camo dissipates. Optic can get a double chow, but look at the positioning. He knew that it was coming. Backs up smartly. Puts some distance between him and the push from Optic Gaming.
And everything slows down. Optic Gaming lucky to not sacrifice additional kills, but as quickly as I say that, Frosty grabs the sidekick kill off screen. Optic Gaming's trying to get out, but they're getting pinched.
Bound found one. It's 2v2 on the map. Sniper coming up as well. I think Optic want to make a play for this sniper. They don't want to let Shopify get it because they know that that's going to be a huge win condition going their way. They need to contest it. So Optic forced to make that push.
They got it for free.
We'll get it for free.
What a POV to see that from. They pre-nade. They pre-nade the snipe, but they take their eyes off it as Optic Gaming slides in and steals it.
Lqgend not allowed to pull the trigger once more though. Cykul, somehow or other, threads the needle to get that kill, but did it fall into the hands of an Optic player once again? 2 dead for Shopify. We're tied up at 34. Optic into a lead by just 1 kill.
Got to see, as you said, was that sniper rifle played? We'll have our observers in the back checking exactly if that sniper rifle is still on the map. And it's in the hands of Lqgend, and he's got 5 shots left. Make it 4 because he's going to burn some ammo.
It's kind of you to say burn ammo. I don't think he meant to pull the trigger there. Royal 2 slides across top middle.
He's going to rotate snipe. Big, big rotation for new angles here. They're trying to get out-rotated. It's both teams out-rotating one another for a full base trade.
5 minutes left in this game.
5 minutes remaining.
Not often you say this, but time could well be a factor.
Oh,
Frosty peeks.
Lqgend has not been missing much.
Cykul peeks. Lqgend not with an opportunity for a clear shot as yet.
Camo up in 15. Very good chance that this camo decides which team takes this game. Good pressure.
Frosty now putting that pressure on. Lqgend. No ammo in the back pocket. Renegade gets a kill, but Frosty will neutralize it. Has to reload. One bullet for Frosty. Success for Shopify a lot of the time is in this man's hands. He can't win the fight against Renegade though, and Optic keep the 1 kill advantage.
Renegade was one shot the whole time. I don't know if the call out came through because that could have been an easy cleanup. But look at the camo, tied 38-38, Royal 2 here with the camo now.
QT coming up as well in a few seconds time.
Here they come. Oh, the pre-nade! What a pre-nade. They're gonna have to try again. Unbelievable from Optic. They hold off, but another push is coming.
Royal 2 knows it's not going to be one player walking out, backs down, the camo now disappears.
Oh my.
Shopify making a play though. They're swarming on the big door. Cykul managed to get 1 kill with that stick. But essentially it's a one-for-one trade. Renegade, Renegade! Renegade! If he goes down there, this game looks so different. It is tied up at 40-40.
Oh man, in jail. Frosty trying to stay alive. So is Renegade. He's got help on the scoreboard. Unbelievably back and forth here. As you say, tied up 40-40.
You can feel the nerves on both sides of the stage here. No mistakes can be made on either side.
LastShot gets spotted out. Here comes the rotation.
Frosty gets a pick though. Cykul exchanges grenades. Lqgend gets the kill onto Royal 2, still tied up. 42-42. You knew the trade was coming, and there it is.
Frosty can't peek. They keep Frosty off of dummy door. Very nicely done. They take the lead on Shopify.
Royal 2 has a flank. Sniper rifle coming up as well. Still the 1 kill between the 2 teams. Lqgend versus Royal 2. And Lqgend was last alive. It's 45-43.
Where's that snipe go? Where does that snipe go? It's in the hands of Frosty. Will he hit the shots to take this team home and their first ever Halo Infinite win?
Royal 2 picks off bound. Shopify inching closer. 2 kills to go with 2 members of Optic in the death screen. The sniper rifle in the hands of a man who has lifted so many trophies throughout his career.
Bound his way out at green. Let's see if they can splat him out.
Cykul finds 1 kill to go. Frosty with this snipe. Optic with barely any hope at this point.
No room for error on Optic. Knows it. That's
Cykul!
gonna be it.
It's Cykul! And what a story has got its conclusion. Cykul, the youngster, the new blood, gets the final kill to push Shopify Rebellion through a grueler of a grand finals. They will slay the beast of Optic and will be your HCS SLC major champions.
Biting at the heels for many months. And despite falling to 4th place at DreamHack Dallas, they rally back and they answer back here in Salt Lake City, reminding everyone just what they are capable of. Defeating Optic Gaming not just once in the winner's bracket, but also in your first best of 7. It was always going to go to 7 games minimum between these two, but Shopify finds a way. Tied at 41, they run away with the game, and now they find themselves about to hoist the trophy.
Cykul with a 50th kill that carried them to victory. He will lift that trophy here. SLC, make some noise for your champions, Shopify Rebellion.